episode of Financial Freeway. My name is David J. Atwood. I am the man rocking the Ray-Bans. And it is slow traffic tonight. I recorded a couple of videos previously to talk about a couple of things. Didn't like them, so I deleted them. But I like to do it in the morning, but with traffic being so congested, I thought, now's like kind of the perfect time to record another episode. Hopefully this one will make it past the editing room floor and will actually make it onto the channel. I have good hopes for that one. So a lot going on, but basically real quick here, I hurt my back. I look like a buddy of mine. I hurt my back a week ago, and it ruined my weekend. I spent the entire weekend in bed. And then I took Monday off convalescing, and then I've been able to get up and get around and move around, but I pinched a nerve, snapped the muscle, did something, but it was painful, and laid me right out. Couldn't do anything for a couple of days, and I'm slowly easing into it. I went to work for the last couple of days, and I was just saying to everyone, look, I'm going to do the best I can to do the bare minimum. And it means come to work, show up, help people when I can, answer emails, stuff like that. Probably won't be going to a lot of meetings where I have to walk. And I also have a sit-stand desk, so I'm really trying to stand for as long as I can before I sit back down and rest. But wow, you got to take care of your core. The moment you stop, and this is with me personally, when I stop worrying about my core and I stop doing my sit-ups and I stop doing the work, that's when I get injured. Excuse me. So I have to constantly be aware that I need to be always moving forward and exercising. I saw an image of Rick Springfield without his shirt off. He's going to be 75. And to see this guy in that shape at 75, I'm like, you know what? I can do better. I need to do better. This guy's taking really good care of himself. I need to do better. I need to start eating cleaner and, organizing my life and prioritizing things a certain way. So anyways, there's that little bit there. If you ever get injured, and I mean physically, mentally, financially, get back to your baseline as quick as you can. Do not spend too much time mourning or healing. Get back to therapy as quick as possible. Get back to your, like if you get your heart broken, get back into the game of life. Not dating, but just keep moving. If you get injured, do what you can to work to a manageable part of the pain. You got to get to where pain's manageable. Don't wait for the pain to be gone completely before you start going back and getting back to your life. Get back to baseline as quick as possible is what I'm saying. Okay, so today's episode was going to be about multiple streams of income in order to get you to that next level of wealth and success. But I thought, before we do that, before we start talking about multiple streams of income, I think that's really important is to find, to get yourself to a place in life where you're living beneath your means. And I strongly agree, I'm a strong proponent for living beneath your means any way you can. When you're poor and you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're scrambling to survive, you can't get ahead. You can't. And that's understandable. So if you're in a situation where you've got a large car payment and you're eating out a lot and there you go. And your rent's high, you got to start looking at things to change your expenditures. And I'll give you some real quick tips real quick. Number one, and no one's going to like this, But in order for you to move to the next level, you're not going to be able to move forward and get to that next plateau until you start living beneath your means. Simple. If you live to your means, meaning your paycheck is just enough to cover your rent, your utilities, and your car payments and all that stuff, you're never going to escape that gravitational pull of poverty. No matter how much money you make, you will always be 1 or 2 paychecks away from being homeless. So it's really important to get to a point where you're living beneath your means. So if you're living in a situation where you're making just enough to cover your rent, just enough to cover your groceries, and you have a car payment, I'm going to tell you some things that you're not going to like, but this is a quick way to get to a point where you're living beneath your means. First thing, number 1, sell your car. If you're making car payments on your car, sell your car for whatever you can and throw it towards your debt and go buy yourself a piece of crap car. And you might have to do some things to get the car, because when you buy a car, it depreciates pretty quick. And it's hard to get out of a car what you paid for it. It's just a matter of life. That's number 1. Buy a garbage car, or even better than that. I like having a car. A car can be a real tool to enjoying life, not just enjoying life, but also getting to a point where you can actually make money with it. So sometimes not having a car at all is more detrimental to your financial well-being than having a car. Just, don't get a nice car. But here, that's it. Just number 1, sell your car. Number 2, get a roommate. This is another one that a lot of people don't like. They go rent a 2-bedroom place, and it's a couple. They rent a 2-bedroom place because they want to have a game room or an office, a home office. And I say, you know what? That home office is worth enough to split your rent in half. That's a quick way to get to be living beneath your living beneath your means, living for cheaper than your income. So that's 2 things. Number 3, look at your food that you're eating. Look at your expenditures when it comes to dining. Are you eating out a lot? Are you getting a lot of prepackaged foods? Are you getting a lot of snacks? Since Gabby came into my life, we meal plan. Every week is planned out. We plan out all our meals, and then Sunday night we sit down, we order all our groceries. Monday morning the groceries are delivered, and we have all the food we need. And I've gone out, and for one breakfast, the cost of one breakfast with me, her, my daughter, or someone else, was more than we spent in the entire week on groceries. So if you think about that, if you're going out for beers with your friends on Friday nights, or you're getting skip the dishes because you just don't feel like it, or you're getting pizza because, gosh darn it, I deserve it, you got to start adding all those up. Last time I ordered a pizza, it was $70. So if you get a pizza once a week because it's what you do on Friday nights because you just don't feel like cooking, that's up to $5,200 a year roughly. Now and again, here's another thing. You start throwing that money into an indexed fund that you manage through your TSFA or even better, your RRSP, you're going to really see that money generate some real growth. So these are things I tell people, like, look, nobody wants to eat hard-boiled eggs and rice and beans. Everybody wants to have, the Doritos. They want to have the 6-pack of beer. They want to have all these nice foods. They want to do that. All I'm saying to everybody is, if you could do this, take this opportunity for 2 years to live beneath your means, to really, really scrimp and save and get to that level where you are actually living beneath your means. There you go. Take the turn because you're blocking traffic now. Okay, move forward. One day I'm going to write a book on the psychology of people and how they drive and why they drive the way they do. Anyways, these are some quick and simple tips. But think about it. If your rent is $2,000 a month and you have a roommate and you split the bills with them, your rent goes down to $1,000. That's $5,200 that can go, or 1,000. That's $12,000 that can go into an account for you. Okay, what you doing? Yeah, there you go. Wake up, texting and driving. Probably recording a video podcast. Who knows? So that's $12,000 that goes right into an account that you can use for yourself, right? So it's $12,000. If I said you $12,000 is what you could have, like a lot. That's a lot for a lot of people to think about. And then and also consider that splitting your bills too, which could add up to another a couple of $1,000s for the year if you consider your hydro, your garbage pickup, what else are you, water, things like that right there. Now, another thing too is if you knock out the pizza and stuff, that's another $5,000. So now we're up to, like, let's just say roughly $20,000 for 1 year. So it's $40,000 for 2 years. So, and that's just having those things. Now think about this too. I know someone who bought a used car and is paying $700 a month on car payments. So what is that? That's $8,400. So now that's $28,400 a year. So $57,000 in 2 years, roughly that is. So $57,000 in 2 years is what you could get by making these little changes. What damage do you think you could do with $57,000? Especially if you're younger. Like if you were like 21 years old, say you just moved out, you're 18 years old, and you did those things to save some cash and put that money away. You could take that $51,000, throw it into an index fund into your RSP, and never have to worry about your retirement. You could retire at 65 with enough money to comfortably live for the rest of your life. So what a lot of people do when they get a raise, if you live paycheck to paycheck, if you just scrimp and save, when you get a raise, what a lot of people do is they got what's called lifestyle inflation. They will buy a bigger car. They will move to a better neighborhood. They will buy better food. They'll go out and celebrate and buy better clothes. These are all a bunch of things that they'll do as their money increases, their expenses increase. This is why if you get comfortable living beneath your means and you're able to save that extra money like we just talked about, and you drop $51,000, well, just think, okay, so $26,000 a year, $25,000 a year. You put that away for $25,000 a year, you're going to be so comfortable if you only just invested in an indexed fund and you put it in an RSP or a TSFA. Now, before I say anything about TSFA and RSPs, when you're investing through those, using those as vehicles to invest in, it's really important that you check and make sure what your limits are, because we all have limits based on, with TSFA, it's based on our age, RSP, it's based on your income. So make sure you understand what those limits are. But even if you're not putting them into an RSP or a TSFA, you can still put them into an index fund, and it may not be protected, from taxes as it grows, but you'll be taxed on it when you sell it and all that stuff. There will be more tax implications, but it's still doing something. And it's still growing. So again, this is something I learned. I learned the hard way how important it was, because I was never getting ahead. And then when I get a new job with a higher income, I was like, oh great, phew, it's gonna be such a break. And for a couple of weeks, it was awesome. But then very quickly, I would fall back into the running out of paycheck before I ran out of month. And this is why I say how important it is to learn and get used to living beneath your means. The difference between poor people and wealthy people is wealthy people don't think of money the same way. And I think that's the biggest difference. That's what I'm learning about people. Like a lot of guys at work, I was talking, some guys are getting a bit of a bonus check coming up. And I said, okay, here's what I want you to do. Get a letter from Revenue Canada and deliver it to the person who's giving you money. And you're going to do what's called an arm's length transfer, which means you're going to transfer it from who's giving it to you, and it's going to go straight into your retirement account, so you're not going to get paid taxes on it. And everyone I told that to, every person I spoke to about that said the same thing. Nope, I'm going to use the money to pay off my credit cards, to take my wife on a vacation because, gosh darn it, we deserve it. And I think, you know what? That's your mentality. That's your thought of what money is. Money is not a way to buy fancy things. Money is a tool, a machine that's supposed to be there to make you more money. If you want to make money, like say you want to have like $1,000, let's say $5,000 coming in a month, you're going to need $100,000, or probably more than that. Oh, you're going to need a lot more than that invested. So you're going to need this huge amount of money to get just a little bit back from it. You can't use that money. It's got to be used as an investment vehicle to make you more money. That's the difference between rich people and poor people. A rich person is going to get 100 grand and go, woo, awesome. We're going to go on a great trip. We're going to buy a brand new car. We're going to pay off all the bills, all the lines of credit, and then we're going to go on an amazing vacation for the family. A wealthy person is going to take that money and go, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drop it into my investment account, and it's just going to grow, and it's just going to keep growing. These are the things that are really important to keep in mind. And it all starts with that idea of a simple idea of, look, if you make $1,000 a week, or say $5,000 a month, you want to live on $4,000. I knew a guy, and this was back in the early 90s, really early 90s, and he was saving money, like crazy amount of money he was saving. So I asked him how he was doing it, and he says, I make $5,000 a month, I live off of $1,000 a month. That's how you do it. I don't know why this woman is leaving so much space when she's in the middle of the intersection. Yeah, we're through. So do yourself a favor. Start looking around at what things you can think about. And honestly, real quick, right now, if you don't do anything else, delete the Skip the Dishes app off your phone. Get rid of that convenience of being able to just pick up the phone and get stuff delivered. You are going to thank me. All that money you're going to save. Start thinking about how much money, and this is a simple thing. You can look at your account, look at all your past orders, add them all up, and figure out what could you have done. And if you're going to be getting, like right now, depending on my investment portfolio is doing pretty good. I've always talked about that too. But if you're making a 10% return annually on your stuff, and you spent $10,000 on Skip the Dishes last year, which believe me is not that hard to do if you really think about it. Well, say $5,000. But you take that $5,000, you get a 10% return, that's $500 that's going to be coming back into that you're literally giving away because you ate food that's not even that great just for the convenience of having it delivered to you. So, we're all over the place here, aren't we? Okay, well, you can get behind me. The whole point is to really get into the habit of examining where you're spending your money and cutting out what you don't need. But here's the trick. Here's the real trick to it, to really kick it up at that extra notch. Figure out how much money you spent on stuff that you're going to cut out. Take that money because you already spent it, you already did it, and start throwing it into an investment account. You can do it really easy through your bank or there's lots of apps out there that'll help you do it. But you start doing that, you start to really see yourself get that money saved. And you start putting that money aside, 50 grand, that'll put you into some real estate. You know, and you do it for 3 years, 75 grand, or you just get into the habit of it, doing it all the time, you can really see yourself quickly getting into a small business and buying some real estate and getting to a point where once you start making a lot of money and still living off that little bit of money, it's really mind-blowing. It really is amazing. Anyways, folks, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you check out the Whiskey Compass project that we got going on. There'll be the link below. Also, go to Financial Freeway, 23.ca. That's our website. That's where the good stuff is. That's where we have all the like the commuter MBA program, and we got all the archived stuff. There's some really good stuff there. You want to check out. And also, as we always say, you got to do the subscribe, like, notification, do all that stuff. YouTube, that's what we do. And finally, as I always say, spread the word, spread the love, spread the gospel of what we're teaching here. because it is our mission here at Financial Freeway to make sure that everyone in the world understands that they have the inalienable right to live a life of success, happiness, and abundance. Wherever you are on this beautiful day today, God bless.